Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And I want to say first, please just excuse me because I'm not feeling very well today. And I was just laying down trying to feel better when I got this message that I needed to get out. I wanted to talk about self-esteem, self-abuse, troubles, tests, trials, tribulations in life, etc. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't know how long the video is going to be, but I have a feeling that those who it's intended for, that it will reach the people that it's intended to. And so share the video, and maybe somebody else might be able to be helped by the video. I don't know. But and then also, I'm uploading this video to YouTube, and I wanted to tell the people on YouTube that, there have been some changes behind the scenes. I received a strike on YouTube. Remember the video I did 3 years ago where I had on the bikini and I was showing the stretch mark solution or whatever? I received a strike from that. After 2 strikes, you're suspended on YouTube. After I've gotten 1 already. After the second, you're suspended. And then after the third, I don't know what they do, but I know that they close people's YouTube channels after you get a certain amount of strikes or whatnot. So there have been some changes going on behind the scenes, and I have come to know that YouTube is not reliable. There have been a lot of changes on YouTube, and YouTube is not a reliable source of video publication. So if you always want to be able to stay up with me, make sure that you come over to my personal website, tanyatko.com. I am considering beginning to do live shows on Ustream. But you really need to be on my personal mailing list in order to be able to get that information. I've also been making videos on Facebook. Surprisingly, I make these little short videos on Facebook. and and I get into discussion there. But even on Facebook, I'm constantly getting suspended on Facebook. One of my accounts is suspended now. And so, but I have other accounts, so I'm able to still continue to post because I just log into a different account. And so that's the way that I've been able to circumvent it. But there's just so much going on with constant reminders about how these companies control the message. So, if you want to always stay up with me, please join my personal mailing list. That's the best and most reliable way. You just go to tanyatko.com. I always put my website right there so that you'll be able to know how to always reach me. And and if you don't see me making videos, then it's because something is not right. Because I love making videos, and I love making these types of videos. And talking about self-esteem is one of my favorite topics. So let's get right into it. And I'm hoping that I'll feel better by the end of the video, because I have to continue to work and I have so many things on my mind, etc. But self-esteem. When I was laying down, I was thinking about how, because I wanted to do a video for married women about how you really have to kind of continue to stay invested in the relationship, continue to want to be your best, etc., which goes for married men as well. We were talking about, on Facebook, I did a video about women who date married men, and some of the married women came out with some pretty harsh things to say about the women who end up entangled with their husbands. And I wanted to really come out and do a follow-up video to that about how the two people in the union, I mean, when something's not right with your union, and there are things that you have to do to keep that union fresh and keep it alive and keep it thriving, because these people on the outside of your relationship are extraneous. there are already things going on in the relationship that need to be addressed and fed, etc. But while I was thinking about that thought, I started thinking about self-esteem and how we, it's not enough to just one day be like, oh yeah, I have high self-esteem, and then go on from there. It's like the different things that we do contribute to our esteem. The different things that we do day in and day out. I talk with you all about how life is just a compilation of memories. Life is a compilation of experiences from one moment to the next. And we have, what's the word? We have control over how we contribute to the experiences of our lives. And I kind of thought about a shower. How you go and you take a shower, but then after a day or two, or how long it takes for you, you start to get a little funky. Well, the same thing kind of exists for self-esteem. It's like, what was there before may begin to wither and wear off, whereas once you may have had really high, abundant, tremendous esteem. But how do you feed back into that? How do you nourish that? How do you continue to feed and nourish and support and love and honor your esteem? Because just having it in 1999 or in 2007 is not enough. It's not enough. What are the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that contribute to your esteem, that contributes to you loving yourself and participating in actions that are self-loving, or keeping people in your circle who honor the environment that you want to keep around you? Because let me tell you what I have found. Let me tell you what I found. I found that it's not so much the big, grandiose things. It's the day-to-day. And each day we have to make. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is making me feel emotional. You know what? I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing on. You know what? I know why. I know why I feel emotional about this. Because, you know what? I get contacted by people all the time who want to know how to increase their esteem, how to feel good about yourself, how to survive in this world that can be and feel so hard sometimes. How do you do it? And it's, get that away from my eye. It's, come on. It's the little things, day to day, day by day, every day, that add up into the compilation of your life, and which adds up into the pool of your esteem. Oh, listen to me, because I get tested. I do. And it has recently come to my attention, right? Because I get tested, and I've been tested lately. One particular thing is, I'm going to say this. I got invited into a Facebook group recently, right? And when I was in the Facebook group, my goodness, a lot of things started coming up on my timeline. all types of curse words and N's and B's and H's and all types of craziness. And I was like, I'm like, so you look through and you look through your timeline and you're scrolling and you see all this profanity and all this vitriol and all this hate mongering and all this craziness coming up on your timeline. And then you realize, and I realized I had to write to the organizer. I'm like, listen, I cannot stay in this group. I'm sorry. This is self-abuse. It's self-abuse. Every time that I had to see that craziness on my timeline, it stabbed away at me just a little bit on the inside. It did. That's just me. And part of loving yourself is honoring the things that feel right. The things that feel right to you, and getting away from the things that feel wrong. And it's not up to me to decide what is right or wrong for you. I traveled the world a few years ago. I had a really big excursion over through so many different countries. And you know what I found when I went to these different countries? I saw so many different people doing so many different things that they love. So many different jobs I had never considered, so many things I didn't even realize existed out there. And one thing dawned on me: when we're in a capitalistic society like the one that we're in right now, there are a lot of people out there doing a lot of different things that they don't want to do professionally. And I'm going to ask you to please honor yourself and find something that you want to do. Because one thing that I learned by going out on the road is that if everybody did what they loved, every single job would still get done, but all of us would be a lot more happy. I went to go get I was looking after my dad's car. I went to go get the tires rotated once, and I was in the Bronx. They have this Sears. That's such a New York pronunciation, Sears. Sears. They have a Sears location. And in the Sears location, I got there pretty early, and there was this guy who was picking up garbage in the parking lot, and it was kind of chilly out there that day. And I was like, "Oh man, they got you out here, picking up this trash and everything." I made some sort of jokes about how something another about how he could be doing something else, or how that I don't know. I made some sort of joke about how that's messed up that they have him out there doing that. And you know what he said to me? He was like, wow, he was like, "I love cleaning." He said, "I love cleaning." He said, "It gives me such purpose and it gives me such fulfillment to see something which was once dirty become clean." And you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me that it doesn't matter what the job is, there are people out there who want to do it. But meanwhile, there are people who dishonor themselves participating in jobs that they don't want to do, and that the world would be a much better place if people participated in the activities that they wanted to be in. And so back to this group. The organizer of the group wrote to me, and he was like, "Come on, they're honking outside." He was like, "Come on, support a brother," right? Meaning support him by staying in his group to be another member of the group or whatever, right? And I realized that I had two choices at that point: stay in his group to support him, or stop getting that stuff on my timeline to support me. Because obviously there are some people who don't have a problem with that type of stuff, but I did. I do. And it didn't feel right to me. And I know that there are people, and when I say, let me get to the point that I was making about how that is self-abuse. There's so many different things that we do to ourselves, to harm ourselves, to do things that don't feel right to our spirit. It don't feel right. We got people around us talking all types of stuff inside of our ear, stuff we don't want to hear, stuff we don't like, stuff that doesn't feel right. But we got them around us because we're like, oh, I want to support a brother. Or, oh, that's my mother. Or, oh, that's my father. Bible says, honor thy mother and their father, right? Let me give you a little secret. Let me give you a little secret. I wasn't planning on talking about this. Let me just give you a little secret since we're going to talk about parents, right? Your mother may have been the human portal for you to come into this earth, but your mother did not create you. She did not create your soul. Yes, as a human being, you need DNA. Yes, from a human. But a human being does not have the capacity or the capability of creating a soul. Yes, a human can be the portal into which your human physical body will descend or ascend into this realm, this lifetime. But that soul, oh honey, that soul, that part of you that stays within you, despite the fact that every single last one of your cells will live, grow, and die, there's a part of you that is still you, which is inside of you, and no human being can create that. Hear what I'm saying? So when it comes to having these people around you saying stuff inside your ear, you need to realize that you are much greater. Honey, what you are and what you represent is much greater than that which is around you right now, and you need to honor you. You need to give respect to the part of you that's inside of you, which is greater and more than what it is that you know to be you. You're more than just Mary's daughter, or you're more than just John's son. You are. And you have to give honor to some of the natural inclinations and the things that you gravitate towards naturally. You got to give honor to that. You know, part of the reason that I feel, oh my gosh, this is so personal. This is so personal. But part of the thing that makes me feel quite emotional is because when I look in my life, I think about whether or not I have been truly honoring myself with my day-to-day actions, with my actions overall. And I'm going to tell you all a secret. And it's embarrassing to admit this out loud, but admitting this out loud, I believe, is the first step towards finding some self-healing. Okay? I don't know if this may seem arbitrary to some, but I'm tired of ignoring it. I don't like cold weather. I don't like cold weather. I don't like the winter. I don't. And you know what? It's unfortunate that my parents decided to give birth to me in New York. But I don't like the cold weather. And it has taken all of this time up until now in my life for me to acknowledge that and respect that there are some people who don't have a problem with cold weather. They don't. And you know what? And I've been listening to a bunch of people who are like, oh, just put on extra clothes. I mean, you guys see and you know what it is that I go through. You see and you know what it is that I go through on the day-to-day with my big overalls and just trying to keep warm and all this other stuff. And remember, before I got on YouTube, and that's another thing I wanted to talk to you all about, before I got on YouTube, I used to spend every single one of my winters, I think from the mid-2000s up until I started on YouTube, and even then I was still going to the Caribbean. I would spend my winters in the Caribbean. Now, you know what? I don't mind a month or two of cold weather, right? I don't mind a month or two, but 6 months of winter, I can't take it. I can't take this anymore. And how much longer will I keep it? This is like another form of self-abuse. It's like what's good enough or what's right for somebody else, it may not be right for me. The snow, this is not right for me. I don't like it. I don't. And it makes and for the longest time it's been feeling and seeming so stupid. I mean, look, you guys see me and you know me, right? And you see I go up and down, up and down, up and down in weight. So yo-yo every single year, same thing. And every time I think I have it under control, guess what? Winter comes again. And guess what happens? Here comes the weight creeping, creeping, creeping back up on me till I'm back in the 200s all over again. I've been trying to lose this same 30 pounds for the past 4 or 5 years. And it's like I lose it in the spring and summer. Fall, I keep it off. You see me doing my walking vlogs, my pictures on Instagram in the park, and then here comes the winter. And there's something, I don't know, it just does something to me. Don't like it. I don't like these dead bare trees, these barren trees. I don't like all the snow and the slush and the dirt. I don't like this frigid cold weathers and temperatures freezing you down to your bones. I don't like it. I don't. And people are trying to rationalize with me and they're like, oh, stay or whatnot. But this is just me. This is me. And I have to honor something about my spirit, something. I know I'm a New Yorker born and bred, but I don't want this anymore. Oh God. I feel like I'm being silly. I feel like I'm being silly, and that's why I'm saying it's very hard for me to admit this out loud. Because some people are like, oh, what's the big deal? Because it's all right for them. But if I could just say one thing to you before I end this video, I'd say this, right? It doesn't really matter who else. It doesn't really matter who else something is all right with. But is it all right with you? It doesn't, what difference does it make what other people's preferences are? Is it all right with you? Does it feel right to you? When you run it through your system, does it feel okay? Does it? And so it's like, you know, I'm going to end the video punctuating this point because I never got a chance to talk about the day-to-day, the different things that we do day-to-day. I mean, some decisions are big decisions, like me having to move my entire business and my entire life out of New York to honor the fact that I don't like cold weather. And I know I sound like a doggone crazy person. First world problems, huh? I don't like this cold weather. I gotta get out of here. I wouldn't survive in the Arctic. I want to be outside. I want to go out. I want to. Let me just say this. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on with my fat, chubby face. Look how fat my face has gotten since I've gained back this weight. I'm gonna go on with my fat, chubby face. Okay, the day to day. What are the things that you're doing day to day to honor yourself? The foods that you eat, the way you treat your body, your hygiene, the things that you learn, the people you keep around you, the things you invest in yourself, the way you take care of yourself, who you let inside your body, who it is you decide to date. You know, there's so many. I really want us to take a quick look around, a total internal assessment. I want you to look at what's going on inside of you. And I want you to see what are the things that you're doing in your life to self-abuse. And I think a portion of me, I think I self-abuse with food. I do. Don't like this cold weather. I sit around eating in the wintertime, soothing my soul with all these comfort foods. And I think a part of it is an internal attack on myself. I think I'm punishing myself or punishing something. I don't know. I got to do my own assessment. Some of us use relationships to abuse us. It's not that the relationship gave us low self-esteem. It's that we got into this relationship to honor a low self-esteem that was already there inside of us. So we get inside this relationship and this person is abusing or talking down to us because this person is saying something to us that we recognize within ourselves, that we accept as us. So we let this person self-abuse us. Or listen, so many number of things. Or we stay in a job we don't like, or we hide our sexuality behind a mask or a shroud because we're living by the standards of what other people think or what religion or trying to pray the gay away or however you want to put it, based on other people's standards. And it may seem big, small, petty. Some things are huger than others. Some things may seem smaller than others, but I'm telling you, I don't care. Listen to me, I don't care. The only thing I care about is your happiness. That's it. That's it. And if becoming vegan will make you happy, oh honey, become vegan. If eating meat will make you happy and keep you happy, which nourishes your soul, then do that. Do that. If leaving your mate is something that will satisfy your soul, do that. If staying, there's some people whose mates cheated on them and the family knows and everybody's like, oh, you need to leave, right? And this person has demonstrated to a manner which is good enough to you that they've changed, but yet you're honoring everybody else. Listen, this is a decision that you have to make because every situation is different. But one thing that I want you to inspire to do is to dig and dig and dig inside of you. What is it that you say? And does it feel right to you? For some people, staying with a person who is cheated is a form of self-abuse. For some other people, leaving that person and listening to other people is the form of self-abuse. Every situation is different. I cannot see, part of the problem is that there's so many of us that judge what's happening in another person's life by criteria that we set for our life, but each soul ascends into this lifetime for a different. Why do I feel like the light is off of me? This, this I'm saying, the winter, the it's snowing and sleeting or something outside. The sun just disappeared. Can you see me now? Listen, as I was saying, I'm gonna go back in the shrouds of darkness. You don't need to see me anyway. Just listen to my voice. For some of you, our soul comes in, well, not for some of you, but I was going to go back on my old point, but I finished up that point. I wanted to say our soul comes into this lifetime for its own set of lessons and its own set of development, and you have to honor that which is inside your soul. For some people, getting away from an ex is the best form of self-love. For some people, going back or calling them up or getting some closure or whatever the case may be is your form of self-love. I don't know, because every situation is different. Every situation is different. You have to assess that inside of you. And I'm here to say it doesn't matter what is okay or right for other people. What is okay and right for you? But bottom line, and I want you to hear me, and I need you to hear me well. Anything that is not love is not truth. And I don't want you to self-abuse in the name of what you may consider to be love, because the one love that you always have to maintain is the one inside of you for you. So before you make any big major decisions, I really need you to run it through your system. See how it feels inside of you. Is it the right decision to go back? Is it the right decision to leave? Those two answers will be very different for everybody. Remember, they used to, what was it, HSBC? I don't remember the name of the company, but they used to have these things at the airport where they'd be like, one thing is such and such to somebody, another thing is such and such to another person. Like it's like for a crying baby. It was like crying baby may be, a cute release for some people. Crying baby may be something else. You know what I'm talking about. The HSBC commercials. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, Google it, because I'm sure they're everywhere. But it doesn't matter what it is or what it feels like to other people. What is it or what does it feel like to you? Are you on top of your health? Are you on top of, because you know what? I find that these things, they show themselves in different ways. It just doesn't stay in one area. Like somebody asked me today, how do they're depressed, they're overweight, they don't have any friends, how do they revitalize their lives, or how do they restart their lives or whatnot? First, we have to get down to the reason for why it is that you're overweight. Treating the symptom is not enough. There are reasons, underlying reasons for why that person is overweight. Why do you have no friends? What are the underlying reasons that added to that? It's like treating the cough without getting down to the fact that there's a virus under there. Like, for example, there are some people who do not believe that you should take these anti-diarrheal medicines, because if you have diarrhea, that's your body trying to expulse some things in there that it doesn't. Why is this thing so dark? I feel like I'm going into darkness. This is crazy. I gotta do something about this, and then I'm gonna get off the video. It's like, it's craziness. I can't even see myself. Okay, here we go. Much better. All right. I hope that brightened up on your end too. All right. Like, there's some people who don't believe in anti-diarrheal medicines, because if your body's trying to expel something from you, it's because it doesn't need to be in there. So it's like there are all types of external, extraneous things that we could be looking at. Okay, get rid of the abusive husband. But did you get rid of the feeling for why it is that you feel that you deserve to be abused? Because if we look throughout our lives, we'll see these patterns. It's like you just pop the head off one Barbie, put another head on. It's like in your life, you replace one relationship for another relationship, where if you look, I did that relationship tic-tac-toe. I'll add the link somewhere around here. You could come to my website and see that. But it's like there'll be these different things that exist in our lives that we have to first get to the underlying issue. And I'm going to leave you with this. Please get a journal. I have and I keep so many journals around me. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I have a journal for work. I have a journal for recipes. I have a journal for business ideas. I have a journal. Look, you think I'm joking? I have a journal for the book that I'm writing. I have here's a journal for more business ideas. There's and then I have so many journals. They're not even all on my desk. I have journals everywhere. I have a journal for personal stuff. Get a journal. The journal only costs like $9. $9. And what the journal does for you is the journal gives you a place to disseminate. It gives you a place to break down your thoughts, to kind of break it down to its lowest compound, so to speak. It gives you a place not dissect, but get your thoughts together, so that you could break it down, because sometimes a lot of what's going on inside of us is just so compounded. It's so compounded that we can't really get down to the bare essence, because it's like, okay, I'm in a profession I don't like, right? But then what were the reasons that led up to that? Or I'm overweight. What were the reasons that led up to that? And it's like, there's so many different things that exist all over the place. All over the place. But you have to get down to you have to get down and dig into it, dig deep, spread it open, spread it out, and then get it into a form that's easy to break down and easy to understand and easy to deal with piece by piece. Because trying to deal with the whole thing all at once could be cumbersome. And then we get caught up in these traps. We get caught up in these traps where we continue to just try to ignore this, try to stick our head in the sand, try to deal with, try to ignore dealing with it. And our life is a compilation of the different experiences that we have, the different things that we put into our lives, the day-to-day, the things we add in, the things we take out, the people we keep around us. And hear me when I say this, right? You can't change the past. You can't. But what you can do is you can do different things right now so that you will have a different future. Right now, things may seem messed up, but it's like there's a trajectory that we're all on. And right now, the direction that we're going in is going to lead one place. Newton's law, an object in motion stays in motion unless it's disturbed. So what's your trajectory? What direction are you going in your life? Are you going in the direction of morbid obesity? Are you going in the direction of being killed by your mate? Are you going in the direction of suicide? Are you? What can you do to stop that trajectory while you're of clear mind enough to be able to do it? And if you can't get your mind clear, get a journal and write things out. Talk to a therapist. There's no shame in that. But what are you going to do to have a different future? One thing, like, listen, there are a lot of things in my life right now that are in disarray. A lot of things are in disarray. I got to go to the dentist and get a root canal and a cap. So many different things are in disarray right now. Things are just going crazy. I have to move my business. I'm thinking about Texas going to. And I don't know anything about Texas, but I feel a calling to leave New York. But then there are other complications that come along with trying to do that or attempting to do that as well. You know, and it's like everything just is so compounded, and there's sometimes, oh, God, I feel like I'm droning. I feel like I'm just talking and talking and talking, you know, and I don't even know. Listen, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to say, if you made it to the end of this video, I'm going to be looking at the comments. I'm going to be talking to you in the comments. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to say, what shall I have you say? What shall you say? What shall you say? I will begin loving myself by, and then write down what it is that you're going to do. What little thing are you going to change that means a lot to you but may not mean anything to anybody else? I will begin loving myself by, and me personally, I will begin loving myself by honoring the fact that I don't like cold weather and that I really need to do what's right for me to get up out of here. Instead of putting my life on hiatus for 6 months out of the year, I got to get out of here. I do. I got to save my own life. What is the can't speak anymore. What's the trajectory that you're on your way to? And know that whatever point it is that you're in your life right now, that there will come, it's like these building blocks, like these stacks, like all of these experiences that have led you to where you are right now. But if you want to get someplace different, it's like you have to slowly, one by one, replace these old habits and replace these old patterns and replace these old things that you were doing with new ones. Slowly, slowly. I'm not going to eat fast food anymore. I'm going to eat good food. I'm not going to drink soda anymore. I'm going to drink water. I'm not going to date people who are unavailable. I'm going to date people who want me. I'm not going to wait until my tooth needs a root canal in order to go to the dentist. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to work at a job that I don't want to work at anymore. But then it goes step by step, slowly by slowly. Let's start slow. Start slow, replace. I'm not going to allow people to verbally disrespect me. And then go from there. I'm not going to let it slide when my child throws a temper tantrum and then give them what they want because of that. I'm not going to continue to spend all of my money. I'm going to save some. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to start self-loving today? What are you going to change? What little things are you going to put there? Because slowly, as you add on more and more of the things that you do want, guess what? Out spills and goes into the past and evaporates all of the things that you did not want. So as you stack on more of the life that you want, one day you'll wake up into a life that you want to live. Right now, I know it may be hard. Honey, I know. Right now, I know it may be hard. But each day you got to keep going in. Pull out this little and replace it with another one. Pull out this little cancerous activity and replace it with a flourishing one. It's like a Christmas tree light. Keep pulling out one by one, putting in good bulbs. Pull out one by one, put in good bulbs. But you have to find the bulbs which are blown, which are not working for you, and pull out each one of those little ones. Everything that's not working in your life, pull it out and put another little one in there. Before you know it, you have a big, gigantic masterpiece of a well-lit life. Oh, honey, and now I'm done. Now I'm done. Hug me. Oh, and keep my secrets between you and me, okay? My first world problems. I know, but still I gotta do what's right for me. Hug me. Hug me. I love you all so bad. Hug me long. Hug me long time. Oh, love, 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 love. I love you all so much. Love me long time. Hug me long time. I didn't mean to say love me. And I'm hoping that once I honor myself and go to a surrounding that is better for me, I'm hoping that at that point I'll be able to, because you know what, there's so much that's contingent upon that one little thing, that one little thing. It may seem like a little thing, but it affects so much of my life. If I were living somewhere warmer, would I be able to work out year round? Would I self-abuse with food in the winter? Would I become a recluse? Would so many different things contingent upon that alone. So think about in your life what's stacked up like Jenga on top of on top of something underneath there. What are all the things stacked up? So let me let you go. Tanya TKO, right here is my website. TanyaTKO.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all over at Tanya TKO, and that's Tanya with an O, Tony. Now make sure, well, go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Oh yes, you know I'm going to say it. What? Love yourself. Go love yourself. Go start taking care of yourself. Start doing the things to honor yourself. And my gratitude bank. Every day I write in here things that I'm grateful for. You might want to think about getting a gratitude bank as well. I was selling them on my website over the winter, but I only have like one left now. But I was selling them. Listen, get yourself a gratitude bank. Every day make a deposit. So Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Remember, write your sentence below if you made it to the end of the video. Peace.